What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is March 9th of 2018. Well, folks, it's time for a daily update here on the DataDash channel, and today we have a lot to talk about in regards to crypto markets. There's been a lot of FUD generated in the market recently due to two major revelations, and it's enough to where many of you out there are still curious on why things are selling off, to where I'm actually going to talk about the news headlines before I do the common technical analysis as well as evaluation on market value. So we're going to be doing all the standard things that we do in the daily update, as well as covering all of the top news that's been going around. So let's not hesitate any longer and dive right into it. So many people have obviously noticed that we're seeing not only a decline in Bitcoin, but in general crypto markets for the most part. There's a few players in the green here, but they are, one in a few. We mostly have all general cryptocurrencies on the downside. Same goes for the next 100 here for cryptocurrencies. So why is this happening? Why are we seeing this general trend in cryptocurrencies? Well, there's really two major catalysts that we're going to talk about here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here and jump right into the headlines. The first thing we have to talk about was obviously the FUD that had been kind of stirred up in regards to Binance. Now, a lot of people have heard about a Binance hack that's been kind of been tossed around, and obviously everyone always wants to jump the gun. In fact, I was actually trading crypto at the time, and I saw the volume coming in, and I stereotyped, oh, great, Binance is getting hacked, or there was some other big news going on in the crypto space, probably another hack somewhere. However, it turns out Binance did not get hacked whatsoever, and there's been a lot of misinformation in regards to what's been going on in regards to what happened on Binance. So in a very short, sweet, and to the point summary, guys, basically what happened is that a lot of individuals were using a trading bot that was distributed out. It was free for the public to use, or maybe there was a small payment distribution. I can't remember exactly. But people were utilizing a bot that someone had built, and within that bot, they gave access to what's known as an API, your account API to Binance. And basically what that means in simple speak is it allows the trading bot to gain access to your account so it can do all the trades for you. I mean, that's the whole point of a trading bot. It's all automated, and it runs off of an algorithm. Well, the issue that arose in it is that the individual who created the bot got access to all the APIs of these individuals and was able to liquidate a lot of altcoin positions, sell off a lot of positions, and then go in and buy a lot of what's known as Viacoin. It's this coin that's traded on the Binance exchange. And basically what they did is they had bought up a lot of Viacoin on the other end, on their account, and set a very high list of sell orders, whereas they would hack the other individuals' accounts to sell their altcoins and very quickly bounce over to Viacoin and instantly start filling in those sell orders, buying up all that Viacoin so they could liquidate it and turn their positions in Viacoin into Bitcoin. So they were able to do this, millions of dollars worth of volume on Binance. However, what was really great is Binance, as the really quality exchange it's become, it's really been known as over these past few months as they've evolved, was not only able to spot the issue very quickly, they were able to stop it, resolve it, and now they've stated that all of the trades that happened for Viacoin and the stolen funds are going to be revoked and given back to the users out of their original ownership levels. So, I mean, this is a really, really solid response from Binance here. I gotta say, CZ and the team have been, again, showing time and time again, not just shilling for the exchange. I really like Binance, and it's ironic because for the earlier parts of Binance's history, I'll be honest, I was quite critical on the exchange. To have an exchange coming in and contest with Bittrex, and I was like, yeah, Bittrex isn't perfect, but it's going to be hard to beat them. And they've done so much good things. I mean, not only this immediate response is a huge sign of maturity, but they've been listening to their community by doing coin of the month. They've been doing giveaways, all kinds of things to attract people to the exchange, and I gotta hand it to them. I think they deserve their success. A lot of it was timing, yes, but at the same time, they've done fantastic at listing great projects, as well as having these responses when something goes wrong. And I love more than anything at the end, they mention that, I think this isn't the exact tweet here, but there was a tweet from CZ that pretty much said, be careful about who you give permission to your account on. Take away a lesson from this rather than making the same mistakes over and over again. A lot of vulnerabilities in crypto happen because either the exchange makes a major mistake on security by not keeping things in cold storage, or the user doesn't know how to manage their funds and understand what it means to be giving your API key away to a trading bot. Again, you don't need to be a technical expert to see the issue in giving permission for someone else to manage your money for you. So, again, very important lesson to take away, guys. That's why I tell you guys, unless you're really a general expert in the field, and you can create your own bot to usually not give away permission to someone else or even use trading bots. Again, it's just like leverage trading. It's kind of some murky area to step into. So if you guys want the report on every bit of details in regards to Binance's public release on the issue, they wrote up a nice little summary. I'll leave that down below in the comments. But along with that as well, the biggest thing that's really tampering with markets here is the fact that the Mt. Gox or Mt. Gox trustee behind the overall bankruptcy case of Mt. Gox has been going about liquidating large chunks of Bitcoin to pay back their users who lost their funds. So this is a very large case that we could spend a whole entire video talking about. But a basic summary, as many of you might know, back in 2013 there was a massive hack on Mt. Gox, which was the largest Bitcoin exchange at the time. And it resulted in a loss of over 440 or $450 million of Bitcoin being hacked from the exchange. Now, the bad news is that's a lot of money and a lot of Bitcoin that was stolen. But the good news is that they were able to reclaim some of the funds after some time. They were able to reclaim a good few tens of thousands of Bitcoin. So this was good news for MTGOX because they came to the resolution through the case that they were going to pay back the dollar value equivalent of the user base. So as much as $440 or $450 million sounds like a lot, it's something quite reasonable with all of the valuation that Bitcoin has gained over this time. But I think many people didn't see the issue that over time, they're going to probably, instead of distributing the Bitcoin to the users, they're going to liquidate it into cash. So we've seen over the past few months, as we've come to realize, really over the past few weeks, people have really woken up to this, that I'm going to mispronounce his name, really bad, guys, probably. Nabuaki Kobayashi, who is the trustee behind Mt. Gox, has gone about liquidating from the wallets onto exchange large amounts of Bitcoin. And we have a blown up picture here of where we can actually go and see the public transactions from these wallets and see where they've correlated with price. And you can see there's been some dramatic sell-off. Again, when you're dumping thousands, if not tens of thousands of Bitcoin, as we've seen all the way down, you're going to have some serious effects on price action. This is the whales that people are talking about. MTGOX has a large position in Bitcoin. And not only have they been liquidating their position over here, but they've also, and seeing as this picture is a little bit old, liquidated some positions on the way down over here as well. And we can see the spike up in volume. It stirred a little bit of panic in markets. And many people are asking whether or not this is going to be a catalyst to revisit 6,000 over the next few days or weeks, or even go to lower levels. I have to tell you all, as much as I want to be open to the idea that we could possibly go lower, I will tell you all what I'm generally looking for here. And I'm watching the technicals on the chart. Not only on a fundamental sense have people come to the conclusion generally that MTGOX has enough capital now from the amount of Bitcoin they've liquidated to pay back their original investors. But along with that as well, I'm looking here in a technical perspective, and I can see that, well, when I turn on my drawings here, I can see that not only is it holding generally around the 23% retracement mark, but along with that as well, more than anything, we're holding, we went a little bit below, but we're now holding above the 200-day moving average. Now, we are not closed throughout the day yet. We still have some price action to move here. But whether that's the upside or downside is really going to be determined over the next few hours. So if we get some buyers coming in realizing that there's nothing fundamentally wrong, but it's more in tune with what Mt. Gox is doing, and not talks of the SEC or the SEC in regards to exchange regulation or ICOs or the Tether debacle or anything like that. Once people realize that this is simply just because of Mt. Gox, and that the question really here is if there is going to be any more being sold off over the next few days. If there isn't, or if it's less likely for that to be the case, then I think this would be a case to get a little bit more bullish on these lower levels. But again, I'm looking more than anything to see if it holds the 200-day. If it does not, if it collapses below there and continues lower, we could see Bitcoin's price go back down, in my opinion, down to 6,000 and maybe down to 5,000, if that's the case. Might have to happen, guys. Who knows? But again, though, nonetheless, I'm not panicking here. I haven't sold off my positions. It's not the end of crypto. It's just simply math, guys. When there's a lot of orders coming in the case of what MTGOX is doing in these huge dumps, they're setting up practically market orders. They just want to fill it And that instantly sells into a lot of buyers picking it up. I mean, they've got a lot of Bitcoin they needed to liquidate. So because of that, you have these huge spikes in volume coming in here on Bitcoin's price over every few hours. So just look out for it, guys. It's just what happens. They need to liquidate some of this money. And I don't want to get too much in the debate about the whole MT Gox thing. I think everyone has different stances on Mt. Gox and the whole issue and everything. It's something that needs a lot more time and details to talk about. But as we go ahead and take a look here at market valuations, we can obviously see our target for $500 billion because of this sort of black swan event has obviously become irrelevant at this point. And we went down to around $350 billion. So slashing off a good $120 billion in market cap. Pretty serious drop off, guys, but it looks like we're starting to rebound here. So again, to me personally, I don't think we're going to be going much lower here so long as we hold on this indicator of the 200-day, guys. But again, it's a matter of watching Bitcoin and seeing if it can hold here. Bitcoin is leading the markets now, much like how it was back to the upside as well as to the downside. The largest player is what everyone is watching at this point, and they're going to see, much like how everyone has access to it, everyone's going to be watching the public addresses and whether or not Mt. Gox continues to liquidate. So the information's out there, guys. If you want to go ahead and look into it, I'll put my resources down below for you. You can go ahead and do your own research, come to your conclusions. But again, there's a lot going on here, guys. It's nothing really scary on a fundamental sense, but the question is whether or not they've got more to liquidate. And they've got tons of Bitcoin to do in regards to liquidating. So who knows, maybe they'll have to pay out towards other expenses and have to liquidate money out of their other Bitcoin holdings. We'll have to see. But until then, guys, don't fund in this market. Don't FOMO as well. Think smart, stay strategic, and think rationally. And don't get caught up in the headlines or the speculation. And look for technical indicators, because that's what's going to be very important here. If the volume doesn't come rushing back in on the sell side and comes in on the buy side, you can probably assume that most of the selling is going to be over. All right, guys. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. What do you guys think about the whole MT Gox case? Leave a comment down below. Get a discussion going. Love to hear from what you guys think. But until the next video, everyone, I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.